What's up, everybody? Tristan the Meat Man here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to debone a bone-in ribeye to get your beef back ribs, and then cut this down to some ribeye steaks and show you where that spinalis dorsi is. All right, so this is your bone-in rib-loin. I'm going to show you how to debone it, break it down to some ribeye steaks. So first things first here, what I've always been taught to do is I'm going ahead and just do a score right across the top of this bone line right here. You don't want to go in too deep, but you go in just a little bit to just know that when you do get towards the end of this deboning section, that you're there. So again, we're going to just kind of do a small first pass just to establish a line. And you can kind of start to peel it open once you get it open enough. And once you do, all you're doing is hugging the bones. You're gonna hug the bones as best as you can. Your knife edge should just be gliding right across those bones. Sometimes if you're gliding across them too close, you'll kind of catch them. You won't be able to kind of go through it. You just pull out a little bit and you can kind of push your way through. And then once you get towards the end, follow that score line. You get nice and separated. And that's how you get your beef back ribs. Now after you get this nice and deboned, kind of go through here and clean this up a little bit before or after you cut your steaks. I like to do it before. Saves me time later. So I'll just kind of get right underneath this fat, just to take it out. Knives I am using today, this is my 11-inch Knife Pro Cutlery steak knife. And this is my 9-inch Knife Pro Cutlery fillet knife. Find both of these on my TikTok showcase. You can order one of them or both of them and you get free shipping. So then all I'm gonna do is take off this tail end. Not all of it, just a nice little chunk so that I don't have to, again, do all the trimming up on every single ribeye steak. After we get all that nice and done, I'll sometimes come up in here and clean this out. If there's a little bit of bones up in here, and there's a bone right here. So I'm just gonna go through here, kind of just clean this up. Just stay right underneath this fat. Not pushing too hard. I'm just kind of just letting it glide across. You can usually get right underneath it at that point. Once we get that nice and cleaned up, it's got this little piece right here. Right here, gotta just clean that up right there. Then just a matter of if you want to take off the ugly fat before or after you cut your steaks. I'm always going to do it before. It saves me time. Now from there, we'll go ahead and start cutting our steaks. So this first cut, as you can see, I'm not sure if you can tell too much, but it's kind of wedged. We call it a door stopper or wedge cut. And that's just pretty much trim. Depending on how much meat's here, it's kind of super thin and it gets super thick. So I can repurpose this thicker spot for some stew meat. Set that off to the side, come back to that later. And then we're just gonna start cutting our steaks. My single ribeye steaks are $17.99 a pound. And then my family pack of 2 or more is $16.99 a pound. So I'm gonna be cutting these just a little thinner than what I normally do, just because I ended up reducing almost this last Rib-Loin because I was cutting them as thick as I was all summer. And I guess they don't want them that thick anymore. So we're just gonna be going through here, cutting them about 3/4 of an inch. I like to just trim up that tail as I'm cutting these, which makes it easy. I normally do anywhere from 5 to 6 of these individual ones. And then as this spinalis dorsi right here, that's the best part of the whole cow in my opinion, especially best part of the ribeye. It gets bigger as we go through it, and it gets really fat towards the end of this ribeye. So I usually make those into some family packs. So got 5 small packages right there. I'm gonna see how much family packs we can get out of this. There's 1 family pack. That one a little bit thinner. As you can see, that's that cap right here that's getting a little bit bigger after every steak we cut. Sometimes this fat pocket will get a little bit bigger as well, depending on who your butcher is or your meat cutter is. They'll sometimes cut out this fat pocket, but us grocery stores, we're not trained to do that. I could do it, but I'm losing money if I do that. Or I got to increase the price per pound. So I just leave it and hope that it gets smaller like it does right here. It starts to get a little bit smaller. So starting on to our 3rd package right there. Once that tail starts to get a little bit of meat up in here, I'll start to leave it on. And now we're getting towards the end of this, so I'll probably get about 1 more steak out of it. So I'm probably gonna go ahead and take one of those individuals out and have 4 individuals so I can get 4 of these family packs. And that's how you get it. We'll have this little door stopper again at the other end, and I can repurpose that into some stew meat. Or you can try and sell it as a thin cut ribeye steak if you can cut that thin enough. And that's how you debone and cut up a bone-in Rib-Loin. As you can see where we started, that spinalis dorsi was really small. And as we worked our way up, that Rib-Loin started to get bigger and bigger. These are my 2 specific cuts that I'd choose myself. But there's others that prefer just that longer piece. But in my professional opinion, I think these 2 are the best. Thank you for watching.